Between the Gilman Pirates and your Owen-Withee Blackhawks. Gentlemen, those who defend and sacrifice for our freedom, we ask you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. First, for the Pirates, a senior, number 3, Caitlin Schmidt. A junior, number 5, Madison James. A sophomore, number 13, Tatum Lear. A junior, number 30, Hannah Vick. And a junior, number 32, Emma Grunstead. Reports and coach by head coach Gilman, assistant Candace Grunstead. And now, for your Owen-Withee Blackhawks, a junior, number 10, Alyssa Gresky. A freshman, number 12, Rita Arnold. A senior, number 43, Lexi Nurnberger. A junior, number 50, Gracie Bobby. Number 52, Amelia Petke. Your officer coach by head coach Ed 17, assisted by Karen Sarrington. In the spirit of sportsmanship and camaraderie, don't I ask that all fans act responsibly and cheerleaders who want to be involved in the contact is not acceptable now for It's for the athletes, coaches, tonight's officials, and your fellow fans to respect they deserve, and making this a positive experience for all. Good luck to both teams.
All right, everybody, welcome to COVID basketball. We're here at Owen-Withee to have Owen-Withee versus Gilman. It is Gilman's first game of the year. They have been off. Owen-Withee has had, I believe, 4 games in already. So we will see what this turns out. Starting out with Gilman taking the ball out, and here we go. Schmidt James over to Grunstead, loses the ball. We're heading Owen-Withee's way. Arndt over to Grasky. Bottoming back to Grasky. Bottoming in the middle, pass out Petke. Stolen by Schmidt. But it stays Owen-Withee's ball. We're going to Arndt to take it out. Nurnberger grabs the ball. Dribbles around over to Grasky. Over to Arndt. Shooting for 3, just too far. James with the rebound. Schmidt dribbles around. James goes underneath. And we get a foul. That's Petke on the foul. Her first, team's first. And I believe we have Grunseth on the line. First one is a miss. Second one's good. Gilman takes an early 1-0 lead. Bottoming out to the corner to Petke on the left. Crossway to Grasky over to Arndt to Nurnberger. Nurnberger holds Grasky. Nurnberger digging into the paint. Dribbles out to Arndt, shoots for a short 2. Just a little long. And Weir with the rebound. Brings it back Gilman's way. Victor Schmidt over to James. Schmidt for 3. Madison James for 3. It's 4-0. Gilman lead. Arndt in the corner. We got a whistle as she was getting into Bottomley. Fouls on Grunseth, her first, team's first. Nurnberger will take it out from the line. Out to Grasky. Shooting for 3, got tipped. And Vic with the rebound. James brings it up. Over to Schmidt, goes for a short 2. Just misses. We got Petke with the rebound, gets it over to Arndt. And the Blackhawks will bring it up. Grasky on the right, back to Arndt. Bounce pass to Nurnberger, flips it up to Petke underneath. And it's a miss for Petke. James brings it up for Gilman. Off to Vic. Weir. I think that was Grunseth underneath. I was looking down at the moment. Turnover to the Blackhawks. Bottomley gets surrounded by Gilman players. And the ball stolen. James all the way under to Weir. Weir for 2. We're back Owen-Withee's way. Out to Arndt. Over to Petke in the corner. And we have a travel on Bottomley. Subbing in, we have Gorka coming in for Owen. And Hopkins coming in for Gilman. And Autumn Nelson also coming in for Owen. Grunseth inbounds to James. Over to Hopkins. To James. To Schmidt. Back out to James for 3. Just a little to the left. And we have a foul. That's Caitlin Schmidt on the foul. Her first, team's second. Bottomley gets it into Arndt. Nurnberger with the ball. Over to Bottomley in the left corner. Dribbles out to Nelson. Over to Arndt on the right. Pass is a little weak for that. James with a fast break up. Misses the layup. A little grab for the ball. It's going to stay Gilman's way. Dietzler checking in as Grunseth takes a break. Easy inbound to Dietzler, who misses the short 2. And we're off again. For the Blackhawks, Raina Arndt dribbles through. Bounce pass over to Nelson. Bounces back in. Gracie puts it over to Nurnberger, who gets the layup. Owen-Withee's on the board. It's 2-6. Gilman in the lead. James fakes for 3, and we have a stoppage. Stock checking in for Nurnberger. And I missed who all came in. I see Grunseth back in for Gilman. I missed who the other one was. I bet you I'll find out soon enough. Bottomley tries to get it over to Stock. And Vic gets a hand on and pushes it out. Grasky in for Bottomley for Owen-Withee. And Raina Arndt dribbling up over to Nelson on the right. Bounce pass into Stock, who cannot handle it. And we have a foul. Autumn Nelson on the foul. Petke and James in for the Blackhawks and Pirates, respectively. Grunseth brings it in James. Over to Vic on the left. Up to James. Poor pass there. Goes Owen-Withee's way. Raina Arndt, fast break. Leaves it off for Stock on the left. Grasky to Arndt for your 2. Bouncing around a lot. And it's Pirates ball. Pirates still in the lead 6-2 at this point. Just under 13 minutes to go. Vic out to Grunseth. Grunseth dribbles around, passes off to James on top. Over to Grunseth, wide open for 3. He takes a shot just a little right. Vic misses the 2. Somehow gets her own rebound, passes out to James for 2, and it's good. 8-2 for the Pirates now. Nelson on the right. Up to Arndt on top. Tries to bounce into Grasky. Cannot get to the ball. Turn over to the Pirates. Hopkins dribbling up. Over to James on the right. Back to Hopkins. Dribbles in. Pass off to Grunseth. Passes all the way on the other side to James. Over to Hopkins in the corner. And Weir goes for a layup and misses. Or excuse me, that's Dietzler. My apologies. That was Dietzler who went for the shot. A lot of changeover. Nurnberger and Bottomley in for Owen for sure. And Schmidt gets the steal there. Starts dribbling up. Breaks in and gets stopped. Foul called. Nurnberger called on the foul, her first, team's 3rd. Schmidt with a short shot that gets blocked. And Hannah Vick gets called on the foul. Her first, team's 3rd. Owen-Withee's ball. Nurnberger over to Nelson on the right. Up to Grasky to Bottomley. Nurnberger going for 3. Over too far. Pecky with the up. Goes over, but Bottomley puts it up for 2. Long pass up to Schmidt. Over to Vic for short 2 in the paint. It's a miss. Nurnberger with the rebound. Nurnberger dribbles up. Grasky into Petke over to Bottomley. Goes for 3. A little short there. Battle on the ground. Calling jump ball. It's going to go the Pirates' way. Michaela Gorka checks in for the Blackhawks. Petke comes out. Now we're off again. Pirates with control. Nice pass in to Weir for 2. Gilman leads 10-4. Good buddy. Nurnberger over to Grasky on the left. Nelson up top. Back to Grasky. Schmidt with the steal. Schmidt goes for the layup and gets it in. 12-4. Gilman's in the lead. Just about 9.5 minutes to go in the half. About halfway through. And we got a foul. Tatum Weir called on the foul. Rena Arndt checks in for Autumn Nelson. That is Weir's first foul. Team's 4th. Pass into Bottomley. Over to Arndt. Nurnberger tries to pass into Bottomley. Cannot handle the ball. Turnover to the Pirates. And they go. Schmidt with the ball. Passes over to Grunseth. Left side to James. All the way across to Schmidt. Goes for a short 2. Misses. Bottomley with the rebound. Passes off to Arndt. And we're going back the other way. Grasky back to Arndt. Back to Grasky on the right. Bottomley from the line. Misses. Arndt gets the ball out to Bottomley. Misses the 3 by a bit. And it's turnover Pirates. James over to Grunseth. To Vic. Vic goes in the paint for 2. 10-point lead now for the Pirates. 14-4 with 8.5 to go in the half. Arndt over to Nurnberger. Out to Bottomley. Back to Nurnberger. Bottomley again near the corner. All the way up to Grasky. Back to Nurnberger. Back to Bottomley. And a miscommunication there, but we save it. Arndt in control on the right side. We got a kick. Petke and Stock check in for Gorka and Grasky. And Hopkins checks in for Gilman. Nurnberger tries to pass it in. It has not been touched yet. Schmidt for 2 misses. Grunseth puts it in. 16-4. Bottomley over to Arndt. Drives it into Stock. I'm going to catch up my clock a little bit. We have a foul called. Foul's on Weir. Her 2nd, team's 5th. And Kaya Dietzler checks in. And Schmidt will come out. Petke out to Arndt. Out the bottom. He goes for 3. A little long. Rebound goes to Grunseth. And we're off again. And we have a timeout called by Gilman. We'll be back with you in just a bit. back out. James brings it up over to Hopkins. Into Weir. Up to Dietzler. Big fight. Grunstedt takes control, but there's a foul called. That's Nurnberger on the foul. Her second, team's fourth. Looks like we have a bleeder. Nurnberger is pulled out. Gorka goes in. Weir. We got a jump ball that goes Owen-Withee's way. Stock brings it into Arndt. Over to Bottlemy on the right side. Up to Stock, who loses control. Over to Hopkins, who fast breaks and gets an easy layup. 18-4 now for Gilman. Petke on the left. Bottlemy near the top. Arndt on the right. Back to Bottlemy, back to Stock. Bottlemy on top, going for three. A little too far. James brings it up for Gilman. Over to Grunstedt on the left. Weir in the middle. Gets a short jumper, but misses. Gorka's got the ball, fighting for it. And Owen-Withee finally gets some control and it's headed back their way. Bottlemy on the right. Stock to Petke to Arndt on the left. Dribbles back up. Gorka near the corner. Up. Bottlemy for three, misses. Gorka puts it up for two. And we get a foul called. That is called on Weir. That's her third. Gorka is at the line shooting two. First one's a miss. Nelson coming in for the Hawks. And Schmidt and Vick coming in for the Pirates. Gorka's second shot coming up. It's a miss. Bottlemy gets it over to Nelson. Arndt going for three. The three is good. We have a foul called. Fouls on Vick. So Owen-Withee will retain control after that shot because of the foul. And they've changed it over. Oh, we're bonus. We're bonus. So Petke is shooting bonus. Petke's bonus goes in. She gets another one. Second one misses. Ends up being a 4-point play for Owen, doubling their score to 8. It's 8-18, Gilman in the lead by 10. First response from Owen-Withee in several minutes. Schmidt up for two, misses. That's going to stay That's going to stay Pirates. I was wondering why Gilman was running away. It was their ball. James into Dietzler. Over to Vick. To James driving in. Misses that short jumper. And she gets the steal. Goes for it again. And too long this time. Grunt set. Grunset for two. Grunset gets the layup. 20-8. Nurnberger. James gets a block on it. We're going the other way. James going for the layup. Oh no, we got to travel first. Hopkins and Grasky checking in for the Pirates and Hawks respectively. 4:41 left. Arndt over to Grasky, who miscommunicates with Arndt. Nurnberger gets control of it, dribbles through, leaves it off for Grasky. Bottomy on top, drives in, passes out to Arndt. Petke on the left side. We have a kick. It's going to be Gilman's ball. With the kick from Owen. James over to Hopkins. Arndt almost gets a steal from James. Schmidt back to James. Hopkins going for three. It's going to be a little to the right. Schmidt gets the rebound. Back out to James. Schmidt for three. Little too far. Vic with the rebound and the putback for two. And we have a timeout called by Owen-Withee. A full timeout. We'll be back with you in just a minute. Action. Starting out with Owen-Withee's ball. Arndt brings it up. To Grasky. Back to Arndt. Bottomy on the right. Back to Arndt. Grasky over to Petke. Across to Bottomy. Near the top of the arc. Back over to Petke. Grasky. Bottomy over to Arndt. Tries to bounce pass into Nurnberger but misses. Tries it again and gets it. Nurnberger in for two. 22-10. Gilman leads by 12 at the moment. Hopkins to Vic, who nearly loses it out of bounds. Over to James, shoots for two. And Bottomy with the rebound. Arndt over to Grasky. Over to Arndt. To Bottomy on the right. To Arndt. Grasky. Nurnberger into the middle. Schmidt gets the steal over to Hopkins. Dietzler to Schmidt. And they reset themselves. Vic, who nearly travels. Schmidt for 3, just to the right. Nurnberger with the rebound. Grasky, Nurnberger, Arndt, Petke. Tries to go into Bottomley, but Vic steals it. Hands it off to James. Going back the other way. James to Schmidt. To Vic, near the side. We got a jump ball. That's going Owen-Withee's way. My apologies, I did not switch the arrow before. Arndt over to Nurnberger. And we have a travel called. Schmidt brings it up for Gilman. Drives into the paint a little ways. And a miscommunication past Grunseth. James checking in. Vic coming out for Gilman. Minute 30 to go in the half. Arndt goes over to Bottomley on the left. Back to Arndt to Nurnberger going for 3. It's good. Cuts the lead to 9. James long pass to Schmidt. Schmidt over to Grunseth, who gets fouled. That's Michaela Gorka on the foul. Vic checking back into the game. That is Gorka's first foul. Team's 5th. Got a minute 5 to go. Nelson nearly gets a steal from there. James. And Dietzler lost her attention for a moment. Turnover to Owen-Withee. Just under a minute to go. Arndt brings it up over to Nurnberger. To Arndt. Bounce pass into Gorka. Gets fouled. That is on Dietzler. Her first, team's 8th. So Gorka will shoot bonus here. The shot is a miss. James recovers it. Going back Gilman's way. Official clock is 40 seconds left. James for 3. Makes it a 12-point lead again for Gilman. Bottomley runs into a wall, and it's turned over. Schmidt with the fast break. James takes the shot, misses. Nelson gets the rebound. 15 to go. Arndt brings it up. Over to Bottomley, who mishandles. Gets it back. Seems to pass right to Schmidt. Long pass to James. 1 second to go. Puts it up, but does not get it in. All right, it's halftime. Gilman's leading by 12, 25 to 13. We'll be back for the second half in about 10 minutes. about ready to start. And Gilman starts the ball. Vic. Over to James. Over to Schmidt on the left. Schmidt goes for three. No, not quite for three. We have a foul, though. That's on Amelia Petke, her second foul. Team's first of the half. James. We have an offensive foul called. Tatum Weir on the foul, her 4th. The ref is explaining a little bit to coach. Dietzler comes in as Weir checks out with her 4th foul. Arndt over to Grasky. Fakes the pass, brings it back to Arndt again. Nurnberger. Arndt. Bounce to Grasky. And Schmidt with the steal. Fast break. And gets the 2. 27-13. Nurnberger dribbles around. And we're going the other way. Amelia Petke on the foul, her 3rd, team 2nd. James brings it up. Floater pass goes Owen-Withee's way. Arndt will bring it up. Bottomy back to Arndt. All the way over to Petke on the right. Nurnberger down. Bottomy tries to dribble in, but she gets called for a travel. James brings it up. Over to Vic. Back to James. Vic dribbles in. Runs into wall. James for 3. A little short. Lands on Grunseth's body, but she cannot control it. Nurnberger grabs it and brings it back to Owen-Withee. Over to Petke. Underneath to Gracie Bottomy. Goes for the layup and misses. James recovers the ball. Brings it up for Gilman. Over to Schmidt. Back to James. Schmidt underneath goes for 2. Off the glass and out. Nurnberger with the rebound for Owen. Arndt on the right. Nurnberger on top. Grasky back to Nurnberger. Back to Grasky. Bottomy in the left corner. Top to Nurnberger over to Arndt on the right. Nurnberger on top. Grasky on the left. And there's a travel. Hopkins checks in for Gilman. Nelson and Gorka check in for Owen. Into Dietzler, goes for a layup and gets the points. 29-13. Biggest lead for Gilman of the game so far. 16. Nurnberger for 3. Little too hard. Arndt gets the rebound, puts it back up and misses. James on the fast break passes it off to Hopkins, who cannot handle the pass. And it's going back to Owen-Withee. Vic checking in for Grunseth. And Nurnberger to bring it up for Owen. Arndt sets up for 3, shoots, and just a little off. We have an offensive foul on Michaela Gorka. Her 2nd foul, team's 3rd of the half. James again bringing it up. Hopkins over to Vic. Back to Hopkins. Nearly stolen by Nelson. James on the right. Tries to get into Vic underneath, but Nurnberger gets a hand on it first. Owen starts to bring it back their way. Pass off to Nelson. Tries to get it to Arndt, but Schmidt gets the steal. Goes for the layup and puts it in. They extend their lead to 18. And Arndt to bring it up. 31-13. Nelson near the corner. Gorka up. Misses the shot. Hopkins brings it up. Over to Schmidt. Dribbles in. James near the right side. Dribbles a little further right. Lifts it over to Dietzler, who gets called for travel. Grunseth checks in for Gilman. And Petke and Stock check in for Owen. Arndt brings it up. Over to Nelson on the right. Back to Arndt on top. Stock on the left. Arndt underneath to Petke. Tries to pass it over to Gorka and misses. Stolen by James. James puts it up for three, and it's good. And Owen takes a timeout as Gilman extends the lead to 21. We'll be back with you in just a bit. Gilman has 9 unanswered points so far this half. Arndt brings it up, pass over to Nelson, back to Arndt, over to Stock on the left. Arndt going for three, just a little short, bounces around. And it's the Pirates' ball. Autumn Nelson called on a foul. Hopkins over to James. Over to Hopkins. To James. James dribbles toward the right more. Grunseth in the corner. Vic underneath. Pass it back out to James. Fakes for three. Back underneath to Vic. And we have a foul. Michaela Gorka on the foul. Her third. We have Nurnberger, Bottlemy, and Grasky checking in for Owen. And we have Weir and Schmidt checking in for Gilman. Weir is on her fourth foul, so she will have to be careful. Schmidt up. Just missed the short jumper. I think that was Vic up for two. And we have a jump ball called. That's going Owen-Withee's way. Nurnberger bringing it up. Over to Bottomley on the left. Nurnberger back near the center. Over to Bottomley, back to Nurnberger. Quick into Pecky, out to Bottomley, out for three, and a little short. Schmidt bringing it up. Over to Hopkins. Back to Schmidt. Schmidt dribbles in. Takes a jumper. A little long. And Vic underneath for two. 11 unanswered points for Gilman now. Nurnberger over to Grasky. Back to Nurnberger. To Petke on the left. Back to Nurnberger on top. Petke. Nurnberger. Over to Grasky on the right. Nurnberger. Petke. Bounces into Bottomley. Out to Grasky. Going for three. And it's good. Owen-Withee finally answers with a three-pointer by Grasky. Schmidt over to Hopkins. Over to Vic on the left side. Bounces into Grunseth. Grunseth turns. Pass out to Schmidt. Going for two. A little short on that one. She gets her own rebound. Pass into Vic. Over to Weir for two. Weir gets 2 points there. 38-16 now. 10.5 minutes to go in the game. Nurnberger to Grasky to Nurnberger. Petke on the left. Nurnberger. Grasky on the right. Nurnberger. Petke. Nurnberger. Bottomley. Petke going for two. It's good for two. 38-18, 20-point lead for Gilman now. Schmidt over to Hopkins. Over to Vic near the corner. We're on top. And we got a jump ball staying the Pirates' way. Dietzler and James check in for Vic and Hopkins, I believe. Yep. Weir takes a shot and gets fouled. Nurnberger with their third foul. It's the team's sixth. Weir's first shot is a miss. I got to get my clock caught up here. Gorka checks in for Nurnberger. Weir's second shot coming up. It's good. 21-point lead now for the Pirates. Orange brings it up. Over to Bottomley on the right. Grasky further right. No one to pass to. Gorka with a turnaround jumper. Misses. And Grunseth gets the rebound. James brings it up. Over to Schmidt. Underneath to Dietzler, who cannot control it because of a hand in from Owen-Withee. Stays Gilman's ball. Inbound to Schmidt. Schmidt dribbles. Goes for two. A little short. Grunseth with the rebound. Dribbles out. Takes a shot and gets the points. 41-18. Gilman in the lead. Bottomley all the way across to Petke. Arndt on top. Jordan dribbles in. Petke out. Arndt gets blocked up. Arndt recovers the ball. Bottomley nearly gets stolen from. Grasky shooting for three. And it's good. 21-41. Grunseth's shot or pass in to Dietzler misses the mark. Goes Owen-Withee's way. Hopkins and Vic check in, and Stock checks in for the Hawks. 8.5 minutes to go in the game. 20-point lead for Gilman. Stock to Arndt. Over to Grasky, to Arndt, to Stock, into Gorka. Gorka tries to turn around and shoot, and gets fouled on the way. Foul is on Dietzler. Gorka will shoot 2 on the shooting foul. First one is short. Nurnberger checks in for Petke. Awaiting Gorka's second shot. Going through her ritual. Puts it up. And it's a miss. No shot. And it's going Gilman's way. James bringing it up. Over to Hopkins. Back to James on top. We have a Gilman timeout called. We'll be back after the timeout in just a little bit. James over to Hopkins for 3. A little long. James gets the rebound. Brings it back out. Into Grunseth underneath. Tries to go for 2. And gets fouled on the way. Gorka on the foul. Her 4th. Team's 7th. Gilman's bonus light is lit. Grunseth's first shot is good. Her second shot, in and out. Nurnberger gets the rebound. Passes to Grasky, to Arndt on the left, all the way up to Stock near the top. Gorka in, Grasky, Arndt, Grasky, Stock, all the way over to Nurnberger on the right. Stock, holding. Over to Nurnberger near the corner. And we have a tip off of Gilman. Owen-Withee recovers it. Grasky out to Nurnberger. Arndt gets it underneath. And a layup for Arndt. 2 points for her. 42-23. Leads cut down to 19. James up to Hopkins, over to Vic. Back to Hopkins to James. Floater to Weir for 2, misses. Vic goes for the rebound, finally gets control of it. Spins out to Hopkins. Over to James, goes for 3. Little long. And Petke and Nelson check in for the Hawks. Dietzler and Schmidt check in for Gilman. Arndt brings it up for the Hawks. Bounces over to Petke. Bounces into Nürnberger underneath. Arndt fakes for three. Dribbles in for two and gets it. 25-42. Leads cut to 17. Schmidt over to Dietzler. Into Weir. And we got a foul called. It's Raina Arndt for first foul. Team's 8th. Weir's going to the line for bonus. Bottomy checks in for Stock. And Weir's shot is in and out. And we're going again. Nürnberger recovers. Nelson over to Petke. Into Bottomy, dribbles in and misses the layup. Weir gets the rebound. James brings it back for Gilman. Schmidt over to Dietzler, dribbles in, gets blocked by Petke. Hands it off to Bottomy and then finally to Nürnberger. Nürnberger brings it across. Arndt, Nürnberger. Arndt again, Bottomy inside, Nürnberger. Back on the edge. Nelson on the right side, dribbles up. Hard pass to Arndt, going for two, a long two, just over. Bottomy puts it back, misses. We have a bunch of rolling on the ground. We have a jump ball going Gilman's way. Vic and Hopkins check in for Gilman. Five minutes to go on the official clock. Hopkins over to Schmidt. To Hopkins to Grunseth. Into Weir. Bounces into Grunseth. Goes for two. A little strong. And we have a jump ball going Owen-Withee's way. Grasky checking in for Arndt. And Nürnberger brings it up. Passes off to Grasky. Petke, Bottomy underneath. Back out to Grasky. Petke in the Bottomy. Bounces out to Nelson. Little strong on that long two. James and Dietzler check in for Gilman. James bringing it up. Hopkins. Dietzler. Weir. We get a jump ball going Gilman's way. Inbound to Weir. Shot misses. Weir gets it again. And we got another jump ball. Going Owen-Withee's way this time. We got 4 minutes to go. Nürnberger brings it up. Passes off to Nelson. Bottomy. Going into the lane. Petke. Grasky into Bottomy again. Tries to drive in. Petke back out. Grasky for three. It's good. Lead down to 14. Weir to Vic. Vic misses the two. Bottomy recovers the ball, dribbles a bit, and gets it off to Nürnberger, who brings it up. Bottomy's pass gets broken up. James on a fast break. And we have a foul. Grasky's probably going to get called for a block there. Yep, Alyssa Grasky, her first foul, team's 10th. Stock and Arndt and Gorka check in for Owen. And I missed who checked in for Gilman. My apologies on that. James's bonus shot is good. That's their first point in several minutes. Second one's good. Arndt bringing it up. Grasky over to Stock on the left. Into Gorka, who turns around the defender, misses the layup. James. Grunseth to James. Dribbles around. Back to Grunseth. Underneath to Weir, goes for two, misses. Looks like somebody got a hand on that one. Arndt brings it up for Owen. Over to Stock on the left. Back to Arndt. To Grasky. Gorka. To Arndt. Sets up for three and in and out. And it's staying Owen-Withee's ball. Nurnberger and Vic check in for the Hawks and Pirates respectively. Lack of movement here. Into moving screen called on Raina Arndt. Her second foul. Team's 10th. 2:10 to go. James brings it up. Tries to float it over to Vic. And Grasky just gets a hand on it and doesn't get control of it. Over to Schmidt. Vic Grunseth in the corner. Vic inside. Pass off to Weir, who loses the ball. Arndt recovers it. Gets it out to Nurnberger, who helps to bring it up. Petke out to Stock. Over to Nurnberger. Arndt over to Grasky in the corner. Petke tries to drive in, spins and makes the shot and misses. Weir recovers. James brings it up for Gilman. Minute 20 to go. Schmidt goes for three and gets blocked by Grasky. I think Grunseth recovered over to Vic, back to Weir, and as Schmidt gets the ball on the outside, Gilman calls for timeout. We'll be back with you in just a bit. 30-second timeout. Back to it. James over to Schmidt. All the way on the other side to back to James. Dribbles around. Tries to drive in a little. Makes a shot. Petke gets a hand on it. Nurnberger starts to bring it up. Gets a nice pick from Bottomley. Nurnberger still driving, and loses control after a Gilman hand gets put in. Bottomley screaming for the ball. And it's a fight. Gilman recovers the ball. Grunseth goes for two and misses. It is pure chaos on the floor here. 20 seconds to go. Schmidt over to James. Back to Schmidt. Grunseth. Weir goes in. Gets blocked by Petke. Weir tries again. And that is the game, folks. Your final tonight. Gilman 44 and Owen-Withee 28. Owen-Withee girls will travel to Loyal on Monday. That's going to be a varsity-only game as they are dealing with some injury and such. And if you are wanting to check in with the boys, their next game is Tuesday. They travel to Colby. We have a light week at home. We have just a middle school game Tuesday and a C-Team boys game on Thursday. So we will not be live streaming for either of those. We will be back on our live stream the week of Christmas. I believe we have 1 or 2 games that week. Not remembering my schedule off the top of my head right now. But we will be back with you that week before Christmas break. Have yourselves a great night, and go Blackhawks.